And fuck it, let's just start recording the podcast.
We're here.
We're here. We had the dreams. Now we're here.
Mother Moses is going to take us to the promised land, or what? Mother Abigail.
Mother Abigail.
Right, yeah, whatever.
Mother Moses be a little too on the nose.
On the nose there, yeah. Forgive me.
She parts the corn.
Yeah, Stephen King, a little too on the nose. Yeah, I haven't done that before.
All right.
Stupid it.
Okay, so welcome to LIW The Stand Review, Episode 2 for The Stand 1994, Part 2, The Dreams. The Dreams. I'm Phoenix West.
Dick it.
Welcome. We had a snafu there where we were very confused about our time zones. And turns out we're in the same time zone. So 2 days in a row, we were off by an hour. That's why yesterday I was like, can I have another hour? I thought I said, it explains everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
It works out.
You messaged me today and you're like, now? And I was like
what?
getting in the shower. And I'm like, what? I can't do it now.
Oops.
All right. Now we know.
Now we know we're the same timeline and everything's fine.
I forgot the Blu-ray again in the other room. It's because last night I watched the Blu-ray. That's what I watched you on. And I did something extra. I did extra homework.
Oh.
I watched it with commentary.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, this will be interesting.
Because I've already seen it 1,000 times. I bet I've seen this miniseries. You know, it's 6 hours, but I bet I've seen it 20, 25 times, somewhere in there. But yeah, commentary. It's one of those hodgepodge commentaries, like where they sat him down for a scene and they talked it over. And it starts off, and I expected Mick Garris because the back of it says nothing. And I'm listening to it, and I'm like, this is Stephen King. There's nobody in the world that sounds like Stephen King. This is 100%. Yeah. And I look it up, and I'm looking on the line. I'm like, who's on this commentary? And it's just anybody in the scene. There's no actual official list.
Oh, wow! So it could be Gary Sinise. It could be Shawnee Smith. It could be anybody.
Well, I heard Gary Smith or Gary Sinise, not Gary Smith, does a part of it. I didn't hear him in this segment.
Oh wow! Okay, interesting.
I didn't watch the first part with it on, so from now on, that's what I'll do is I'll watch the commentary because it was interesting.
Okay.
But so it was Stephen King, it was Mick Garris, and the producer or the editor, some guy or hairy guy, I forget his name. But I missed the intro, so I didn't know who he was. So I had to just slowly figure it out. I think he was the editor, could have been the producer. I don't know. But then eventually, when Rob Lowe shows up and he meets Tom Cullen, Rob Lowe's in there. And Rob Lowe is fucking hilarious.
Really? Okay, good.
That man makes fun of everything in there. He's like, because when Tom Cullen's is like hugging him and like overly aggressive, he's like, stop shaking my hand. He's just making fun of it.
That's funny. Well, now, shit, I gotta go buy the Blu-ray with the commentary.
It's worth it.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
But
did it say the making of too special, or was there a making of option?
Yeah, there's apparently that's on there. I didn't see this stuff when I first watched it on Blu-ray.
Okay.
I was just trying to get through it. But yeah, I haven't seen the making of yet. I'm gonna watch it probably for the 4th episode. So it's something to talk about there as well.
Maybe I'll have to buy it, and after I watch it initially on here on the drive, I'll go buy it and listen to the commentary, so I know where you're coming from.
I want to watch the first. The problem is with you is you have to watch the episode and then watch it with commentary.
I can do both.
That's double homework for you.
Yeah, I know. That's whatever. It might be all right.
Yeah, but I'm glad I listened to it. When they introduced Nadine Cross, Stephen King made me laugh because he goes, Nadine is a character, the only character in The Stand I don't understand. I don't know what she is. I know. So I was like, you fucking wrote her. But I love that he's like, I have no idea. She just does.
Now, which one was Nadine?
Nadine is the big boob lady that you like.
Oh, okay, yes. I was going to say, yes, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand her either.
You know who else was on the commentary? Was Ruby D.
Oh, okay.
And I guess the commentary is from 99, so it's only 5 years after it aired. And Ruby
she's dead.
At that point, sounds like Mother Abigail. Like she's not doing like the old voice. Yeah. It just sounds like that. It's only 5 years. I'm like,
wow.
I went out there and I remember getting on set. It's like, oh, you sound just like her.
Come to me, children. Come to me.
Beware the devil. Those are his rats.
His rats are coming for you.
Okay, let's get into the plot here. This is part 2, so it's starting to. By the end of this one, they're kind of ramped up and they're on their way. And that's kind of where all this episode does is sets up more of the good versus evil. Franny, it begins with Franny, like we talked about before we start recording. Franny bearing Dr. Kelso.
Yep.
She sews up his thing while she sings.
Amazing, yeah.
Amazing
Awkwardly
Grace.
singing Amazing Grace and not really showing too much emotion. She's kind of like going kooky, I felt like. She was like a little like nutty. So maybe she's losing it, but I get it doesn't really go anywhere, so I guess that's not the point.
On the commentary, Rob Lowe is talking about how he wanted when Shawnee Smith grabs the gun in his pocket and she's like, "You got a big gun." He said the producers didn't want, or the network didn't want him to do that.
Oh,
Sexual, and he goes, "Look, we just did it. We just did it." And Mick Garris goes, "Oh, you have no idea the notes we saw behind the scenes, because I got a note that when Franny Goldsmith sings Amazing Grace, the note was like, I'm a Jew and this is offensive."
wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. That's why you listen to the commentary.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. She buries the dad. Harold comes over and helps her bury him.
Yes.
Harold has more zits everywhere. He has another amazing tracksuit, I believe, in this scene.
And he's got his chaps on because he's on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
Which is the funniest shit in the world, is him wearing chaps with mom jeans. Yeah. It's hilarious.
They were totally mom jeans.
And he's got no butt, so it's like the jeans just kind of sag where his ass is. I have the same problem. I have no ass, so I know this experience.
The funny thing about that is Mick Garris is talking about how in the book that character of Harold is a really big fat dude.
Oh, see?
So we cast a really small guy, and so what we did was give him a big fake butt in the beginning. By the time he gets the chaps on, they like minimized it.
Oh, see, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Make him be cast a fat guy. Cast the fattest fuck you can get for that part.
I'm fine with that. They
totally a loser.
They cast what they thought was the best actor.
It's fine. Principle. It's fine, yeah. But again, another fat guy not getting work in Hollywood. Fat shaming.
Jack Black was busy in '94, all right?
He wasn't even around yet.
Can you imagine? He was doing Tenacious D, and this was the year before Mr. Show.
Yeah, but still.
Can you imagine Jack Black in this role?
Come on, Fran.
Yeah. Hey, he was in Neverending Story 3 by this time.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Trash Can Man. We meet the character Trash Can Man,
Matt Frewer,
and he looks like Fire Marshal Bill.
Yes, he does.
He's just Fire Marshal Bill, but he hears voices, and it's like, why'd you burn your teacher's pension check or some weird shit like that? He's like, oh. He does a direct to camera right down the lens.
And he blows up the gasoline factory.
Yeah,
in the beginning. All right, and that's our first introduction to Trash Can Man.
Yeah,
who I guess in the new show is played by Ezra Miller, and I get the sinking sensation that he's going to be jerking off every time he blows something up.
Probably. It's going to be more sexual. It's
going to be stupid. It's going to be all the notes that they had in '94. They're going to be reverse notes now because make it worse, make it more graphic because we don't care anymore. We can get away with it now. We're streaming. It's like, yeah, but it sucks.
I skimmed through the episodes to make posters yesterday, and I stumbled upon the episode that is called Fear and Loathing in New Vegas. And what I found, there's just flat out nudity.
There you go.
Titties pressed on glass. So I made and you're the woman over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, these ones are going to be interesting. Oh shit, I closed the wrong thing. Oh well.
Oh, I'll leave close the stand, new one forever, and you'll never be able to watch it.
No,
it went into the void of Randall Flagg's asshole.
It disappeared off Paramount Plus.
Oh, if only. Jesus. Like I said, I'm not looking forward to watching the new stand.
I sat down when we were watching together last night, and I was telling the girlfriend what you said about it out of order, and she had the exact same reaction. She goes, "Oh, why?"
Yeah, it's stupid. It makes no sense.
She's only seen this once, and she's like, "What? How?" And I'm like, "I don't know how to tell the story out of order because it's already all these characters. You're going to be confused anyway." There's
Yeah.
so many characters.
It's dumb. It's a dumb choice. It makes no sense. It's just like they're doing it because Nolan does it. It's like, yeah, but Nolan does it right. You guys aren't going to. I can already tell you're just going to fail miserably.
Yeah.
And that seems to be the number one problem with all the reviews. It's like it starts in the middle. And it's like it's terrible. It's like, why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like the plague has no meaning because you don't see the effects of the plague at all. It's like it just happened and you don't get the sense of how bad it was.
I think they realize we can't do this because The Walking Dead's already out. So we have to come up with some other shtick. I think
maybe
that was the only reason to do that.
Well, it's hacky. It's like it's the go-to. We're going to break the narrative because we can. It's long-form television, long-form story, so we can take time with it. It's like, well, yeah, but this is already a long story, so you're already long-forming it with the straight narrative. So why would you mess with that? It's just stupid. Well, hey, Hollywood sucks. They're dumb as shit now. They can't make nothing, and that's why no one's going to the theater. Hey, COVID. It's because there's nothing to see. No one wants to see this shit anymore.
The only thing I really actually want to see is not something I want to go to the theater for. It's that Spiral movie. I want to see what Chris Rock is doing in a Saw movie.
I know, it's hilarious.
I'm not going to go to the theater, that's for sure.
No, yeah. He's a killer. He's a killer.
I just don't understand why he's there. But Out of Order would work for me as if they did here's this character throughout the timeline.
Right.
Next episode, here's this character throughout the timeline.
Sure, yeah.
The last 3 episodes, they all tie together and they all meet up. That's where they're all leading. That would kind of work for me. But if it's literally jumping back and forth in time with the same characters, why?
Yeah, I don't understand it.
They're trying to be Westworld for no fucking reason. They're trying to do this trying to make it overly complicated.
They're trying to be clever when they shouldn't be. And I think that's the issue. It's like they always we need a new gimmick. We need a gimmick to make this different. And it's like, well, yeah, you're already going different because there's going to be nudity. You're going to get away with a lot more. So there you go. You got your difference. So why change the narrative? It's stupid. Well, again, Hollywood makes the dumbest decisions and they just go with it because they're fucking dumb. And nobody likes them anymore. And it's becoming a reality, and they're starting to realize it because YouTube, they're trying to shut down people on YouTube because they have millions of followers and they don't. And that's what they're afraid of is independent content. They're afraid of it. That's why they went after PewDiePie.
I want to give the show a chance. I'm not going to be like, I'm just going to go, all right, what do you got?
Yeah, I have to watch it because it's homework.
Yeah, I don't want to be like, I fucking hate it before I even watch it,
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I was excited to watch it until you said it's out of order.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Well, that 5.4 score on IMDb don't do me any favors.
Sometimes you get really good shows that are 5 point something, but
yeah.
Anyway, Trash Can Man hears Randall Cross. He's talking to him. And he's going to save him. He's going to let him burn in a fire. That's how he's going to let him die, which apparently excites him.
Hey, why not?
And then we see where Lloyd's been. He's in a prison in Arizona, and he's eating a rat slowly. And then Randall comes and saves him and opens the lock like and gives him a weird stone. I don't know what the fuck that is.
So that basically established, like, again, Miguel Ferrer character, he is not quite a bad guy. You can see because he's basically paid his penance for his crime because he was trapped there with no food and no water. So he's basically paid his dues. And then
someone.
Well, I mean, granted, but he didn't mean to. It was more or less kind of a reaction because he was being shot at.
Yeah.
And I mean, he didn't want to do it in the first place. You can tell, but his partner was an idiot. And so he's there and Flag saves him. And he's just like, you're going to be my pet or whatever. And sure, why not? But he's still not 100%. I'm not convinced he's in it 100% at all.
No, he's sitting there and he's like crying.
Yeah.
Because he's getting a compliment for the first time in his life.
Yeah.
Randall's like, I see promise in you. You're going to be my right-hand man. He's just like,
yeah.
You can tell this man's had no positive influence his entire life.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Miguel Ferrer is fucking awesome in that scene. I love him. He's just staring down and he's just eyes are swelling up. Same performance he did in Richie Rich.
Yeah, he's a genius. He's a genius.
Or was he in Richie Rich or is he in he's in Blank Check, right? That's
I think he might be in both. Who knows? he did a lot of movies in those days. He'd say yes to anything, I think. And who wouldn't?
The dude's awesome. Everyone that worked with him on the commentary, this is before he died, so they had no they were kissing his ass, and he's still alive. So he was so much fun to work with.
I bet, yeah.
Like he came in, and I guess he was trying to get the Randall Flagg role. Like, you need someone that people don't know. When people
see, I wish they would have went with him for Randall Flagg or somebody bigger, because this guy, to me, as Randall Flagg, he's just kind of bland.
He looks like Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't know why.
Yeah, there's nothing to him that's like he's okay. Like, I think he's the one disappointing thing in the whole thing so far is Randall Flagg, and he should be the best thing in the show.
They play him a little under the radar. The only thing he has going for him is that smile. He smiles, it's a big ass smile, and that kind of works for that, because then suddenly he has like devil teeth and red eyes.
Right? Yeah.
But Miguel Ferreira couldn't do that. He's too.
Well, again, according to the IMDb trivia, that they wanted Christopher Walken or William Dafoe to play that part, but they were like, "Well, we can't go for a big name because we want it to be a nobody, so no one knows who this guy is." And I get it, but it's just like I think they couldn't afford Christopher Walken or William Dafoe.
I would think so, but they brought those guys up in the commentary. That's where that trivia is from. And Stephen King was adamant that they don't cast a known person.
Well, thank you, Stephen.
I agree with their thoughts. Red Flag is a weird character. I don't know why they made him Billy Ray Cyrus with a giant mullet and he's got the Canadian tuxedo on.
Well, he was supposed to be Matthew McConaughey in the movie. Matthew McConaughey was going to be Randall Flagg in the Stand movie, and that's why it was going to be a 3-hour cut, and then they decided, well, can't do it, so let's make it a miniseries on CBS.
Oh, okay.
So that just gutted everything right there, and that's just what ruined it.
I thought what ruined it was he showed up in the Gunslinger movie and was like, "No, I'm good."
Well, he did that too, but he's the best part. I think he's actually really good in the Gunslinger movie. It's not a good movie, but he's actually pretty good in it.
Dark Tower. That movie has way too good of a cast for how stupid.
I know, yeah. It's so disappointing. It's so sad. That could have been something amazing, and they just fucked it up so bad.
You wasted an Idris Elba. Well, how do you fuck that up?
Yeah, it's so bad. It's just like, wow, you guys took 7 books and rammed them into a 90-minute movie. Thank you, guys. You guys are great. Hollywood, working hard to fuck things up again.
I watched that with Jansen and his wife. And I was just making fun of it the whole way through. And this is at their house, not the theater. And afterwards, I was like, that was so dumb. He goes, maybe if I heard it, you didn't shut the fuck up. And I was like, why didn't you say something before? I felt like such an asshole. I don't enjoy it anymore. I'm sorry, but
no, it sucked. And I remember I read the script when that movie was first getting passed around. The script was out, and I was like, "This is terrible. This is not at all the Gunslinger. This is not the. They shouldn't call it the Gunslinger or the Dark Tower. They shouldn't call it that. They should call it something else because it's terrible. It's just it sucked."
They should have done what Castle Rock did, where it's set in that universe.
Yeah.
Not specifically an adaptation of the book. It's just kind of that idea, and then come up with their own. I don't know, or just don't make the movie if you can't make it.
Well, they did that. It's called The Talisman. That's the thing. Talisman is another book that because now Stephen King's macro universe is the Dark Tower. It's all that universe. Because it's all multi-universes and shit like that, and he's like, okay, whatever. I hate it when people try to make their whatever they create a macro verse, like everything's connected, and like Star Trek now, they're still trying to say that's connected somehow, but it's a different timeline. It's like, no, it's not. It's just shit. It's a separate thing. Just don't call it. Don't try to call it Kirk and Spock. It's called something else. But that's all you have is nostalgia for the whatever came before, because nobody cares about the new stuff.
No. It worked for Tarantino because he's doing like really light references.
Well, sure, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. Well, but he's clever about it and he's fun. These are not clever or fun what they do because they're hacky. It's forced and it's just like, oh god, don't make him related to him and don't make her there. Like, why are you doing that? That's stupid.
Most of my notes for the rest of this time is this person meets this person because we're like
that's all it is. Yeah,
we're meeting all the rest of our characters.
This is still pretty much part 1, part 2 are like the same episode, like one episode really. Yeah. It should be like the first part of a movie, the first act really.
Basically, it technically is part 1, part 2, and episode 1 and 2, and then episode 3 and 4 are 2 separate parts.
Okay, yeah.
They released it as episodes, so
yeah.
Yeah, so Larry meets. He's playing. He's walking around shouting for people. This is when we get introduced to Nadine Cross. She's sitting on a bench. She pulls a gun on him, and then he just sits down next to her, and they start kind of slowly talking, and then they just wander off.
Yeah. Well, he's instantly attracted to her, and she's kind of, but she doesn't know. But she's because Flag is playing with her mind, I guess.
Yeah.
As the episode goes on, you realize, oh, that's Flag's concubine or something, and he's trying to get her to Vegas.
His virgin.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Because
she's a virgin.
Yeah, they go out. They're having fun and they're fucking around and they're in a diner. They're in like an Italian restaurant, and he goes back and he makes her or whatever restaurant. He makes her a big steak. Yeah. Comes out and they're drinking wine. And 3 seconds into about to eat, he mentions the dreams and Mother Abigail, and she's like, "I don't dream ever."
Yeah.
And they show a quick flash of her getting fucked by Randall Flagg.
Yeah.
And so basically, they set up not only is there two worlds, there's two dream sets where the bad people like Trash Man and Lloyd are having, and Nadine Cross are having about Randall Flagg. Like basically, it's you're deemed bad, therefore you get the devil dreams. The good people are getting Mother Abigail and for the stand. And Nadine Cross is like, okay, we got to go. And they leave after they hear a bunch of gunshots. And they decide to get out of New York City because it's going to smell like absolute garbage in a week. Because they say 6 million, but it's more like 8 million rotting people.
Yeah, I'll do it.
So they're like, all right, we got to get out of here. This part was interesting in the commentary because Stephen King and Mick Garris were talking about what would be better, the bridge or the tunnel. And he's like, got to do the tunnel, man. It's just way more effective if you're in the tunnel. And so they're walking down. They go through the tunnel, and there's just dead bodies in every single car.
Yeah.
Nadine decides she doesn't want to go with him. She stays back and runs off. Halfway through the tunnel, she's suddenly there, and then they cross through it.
Yeah. It reminded me of Independence Day, like the aftermath of Independence Day. Like, what if we saw that instead of what we saw in the movie? It would be a little bit darker. But Independence Day sucks, so they didn't do that.
There's no save the dog moment in this.
Nope. There are no dogs.
No,
they all died.
Glenn has a dog, the old man.
There's one dog left, yeah.
And Mick Garris is like, that dog is a shitty actor.
Yeah.
He made fun of it so bad.
Working with dogs and kids are the worst thing, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, they get aside the bridge, and then eventually they're camping. I'm just going to finish their storyline. They're camping. He tries to fuck her. She says, no, she's a virgin. They go to sleep. He has dreams of Mother Abigail. She has dreams of banging Randall Flagg. And then she leaves in the morning, leaves him a note.
Yeah.
Money on the dresser.
Yep.
And that's
for the blue balls.
Yeah.
She charged him for blue balls.
And Larry leaves. He goes on his own. He's playing guitar in a car. He meets Julie Lawry. No, he meets Lucy Swan and a member of the Pussy Posse. Isn't that him?
No,
just like him.
No, Lucas Haas or
Lucas Haas.
It's not Lucas Haas, but it can't be. I don't think it's anybody famous. It might have been one of the cousins of the Pussy Patrol, but
I don't know the character's name, so I can't find him.
Is he? Do they talk about him in the commentary? Because he pulls a knife on Larry right away. No. He's like, he's feral. He's like a feral kid. Oh, because she found him in some city, and he was like totally abused and raped multiple times, and he's all fucked up.
He's all full of holes.
He is all screwed up.
But
he's a virgin.
He's not. But she doesn't say feral. She goes, I found him in a city. He was borderline feral. And I'm like, I hit the ears wrong.
Lisa Swan, not the best actress in the bunch.
Lucy Swan.
They should have hired somebody a little bit better.
She's pretty.
They should have hired the girl from Friday the 13th, the series.
She's the only one here other than Chuck Adamson. She's played by Bridget Ryan, and she does not have an IMDb picture.
Wow, there you go. She feature prominently in the show for the next couple episodes, or is she just it?
She was in two more things after this: one television episode, one movie called Palookaville.
Ooh,
and that was it.
Wow.
95, she's done.
Wow, she must have married a producer.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought.
No,
hey, good for her.
Good for her.
Like, it isn't working out.
They usually marry some hedge fund guy or some multi-billionaire. They always hook up with somebody like that.
Fuck it, I would.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's her name did. The girl from Lost Boys.
I've only seen Lost Boys once and didn't care.
Well, she's in the 80s. She's in a bunch of 80s movies.
I'm the only one that doesn't like that movie.
I forgot what her name is on top of my head. I can't remember. Kurtz or her Jamie Gertz. Jamie Gertz.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she disappeared, kind of, but she just like dropped off the face of the earth. But because she married some like millionaire guy, so she's invested. And she's a multimillionaire too, so they're fine. Yeah, good for her. She was a smart investor with her money. Yeah.
They decided to go to Mother Abigail in Nebraska, so they're off there. Let's go back to Nick. He's wandering around a town, and this is another Walking Dead ripoff because he stumbles upon a town of mannequins. It's our poster for this episode. I put our heads on mannequins.
Oh, good.
Anyway, he meets Tom Cullen, who it sounds like you want to discuss him because you were very excited last episode. So go right ahead.
He's a big dummy retard, and he's played to the hilt, full retard. Kind of. I would say, well, okay. He's 3/4 of a retard and 1/4 child, and I think that's what gives him kind of the charm. I'm using that term loosely.
Well, they put him in overalls. Come on.
Yes, it's so goofy. It's so over the top. Like he should be wearing a hat with a fan on it, just to make him really stupid looking.
Giant lollipop.
Yeah, just really make him look dumb.
You look like Stewart on Mad TV. He's got the big rosy.
He's got rosy cheeks. No. Hi, you can't. My name's Mooney. Or what was it? He goes, my name's.
There's two things I quote in this miniseries all the time in my regular life. So we're talking about The Stand. MOON. That spells The Stand.
That's right. MOON. Yeah.
The other one is laws. Yes. Because that's a lot as well.
MOON spells Lucy. Oh god!
And that was the stuff that Rob Lowe was making fun of because he started off by going really sweet. He's like, I have a sister with Down syndrome. It was important for us to not play him like too.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Crazy. He's like, we kept him a little more grounded and sweet. We kept him sweet, is what he
said. That's what I mean. Yes. Quarter child, yeah.
Yes. And he goes, I think we did a good job. And then he was he's like, stop touching me every time he had it. And then he would say, when he spells MOON to the guy in the truck, whose name is, I believe, Ralph. He's like, MOON, that spells Nick. And he goes, my character's so used to hearing the MOON thing, he just doesn't even pay attention to it anymore. He's just like, He's like, he's over this.
But he's deaf. He can't hear it anyway.
Seeing it.
Well, I know, but if his back is turned, you don't have to deal with it. Because that's the one part where they meet Shawnee Smith.
Yes.
In the city, she starts shooting at him, and he doesn't hear it, so he's just sitting there. And he goes, "We're getting shot at! Oh, come on,
we gotta go, Mister!
Come on!" Oh, and they're on bikes, and they got serpentine. They're not even serpentine. They're getting shot at.
Yeah, they meet Shawnee Smith. He's in the drugstore. It's like a general shop, and he's looking around at stuff, and he sees the mannequins, and he sees she's standing there like, and then she eventually pops
because she's nuts. She is crazy. Insane. She's a crazy bitch, and she's so good as a crazy chick.
Oh yeah,
she's awesome.
She hits like 55 different feelings and emotions in her 5-minute scene.
Yeah,
because she meets him, she's like, "Oh, hi," and she's like talking to him, and he's like, he does this.
You're a mutie.
You're a deaf mute. Oh,
deaf mutie.
Finally find someone alive, and he's a deaf mute.
Yeah.
And then he goes to leave, and he's showing her the Pepto-Bismol thing he got for Tom out there, and she reads a note. It says he's mildly retarded. She starts laughing and like slapping the counter. She's like, "I find a deaf mute and a retard out here." Yeah. And then she starts to try to fuck him.
Yep, immediately.
And then Rob Lowe was like, we did not agree in this scene at all. She wanted to play it one way. I wanted to play it another way. We just didn't agree. And then Mick Garris is like, it works because you're not supposed to.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be uncomfortable for you. That's the point.
It is.
She is fucking nuts. Yeah.
And they hold on that shot for a while where she's just like staring at him.
Yeah.
Eventually he has to like push her away.
Yeah. And you can tell Rob Lowe is not into it. He is like, okay, are we going to keep going with this? This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes outside. He leaves her behind, and then he gives him the Pepto-Bismol. He won't take it. Shawnee Smith shows up out there. Oh, her character name is Julie Lowry.
Yeah, she says it a few times.
Yeah. She goes outside, and she helps not at all. She doesn't help him give him his name or read. She's just like, oh, you got a sour tummy, buddy, or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she's trying to still get him to fuck her, and fuck the retard. Let's leave him behind.
Yeah, basically, let him die out here in the street.
And eventually he has to like shove her. He pushes her away and backhands her. And she falls down in her little poodle skirt.
Is this a separate town, or is this the same town that he met Dummy Retard in?
Separate town.
Is it a separate town? Okay. And I'm going to call him Dummy Retard for the whole series because I can't remember his name.
It makes... Part of the reason I love the commentary is stuff you don't think about, because Mick Garris is like, when he's slapping her in the town, they're in the middle of the street. And he goes, this was really hard to shoot because we're holding up traffic on both ends for miles.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
People are honking their horns, and I don't know how we got our lines out. And I was like, how the fuck did they do that then?
Yeah.
I don't hear any horns.
Well, that's soundtrack. You can block that out. That's crazy, easy, though. But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's funny.
He also said there's a bunch of birds that would show up every day at the same time when they're trying to shoot. And it was super loud, so you'd have to go out there and fire just buckshot at it in the air and fly away. By the time they stop recording, they'd come back.
Oh shit! It was Randall Flagg who sent his minions.
Eventually she wanders off. She runs away like a little. Yeah.
Oh, it's so great where she's just like, yeah, she's like shouting at him.
She's also feral.
Yes,
she's screaming like a lunatic.
She's Pharrell.
They sit down. The Pepto-Bismol bottle disappears. I noticed.
Oh, there you go. Well, they put it in a pocket. He put it in his pocket.
And they decide that, like, we should go to Nebraska. And they get their backpacks on. And then they start to get away. And then he's starting to, like, pack up his backpack. He doesn't have it on his shoulder yet. And we hear the gunshots and we see the effects. And Tom, that's when you're saying, Tom Cullen, we got to get out of here, man. Yeah. She's shooting at us.
And she's just laughing. Yeah. You get out of here. I'll kill you. Yeah. She's
like a pirate.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
And then Rob Lowe is making fun of himself because he goes, I'm not good with props. I'm not a prop actor. So he's like, watch me try to get on this bike and put on my backpack at the same time.
Wow.
He's like, I couldn't do it. And you watch him in the background. And he's like almost falling over. And Mick Garris goes, yeah, we cut here. And we cut back and your backpack's on and you're on the bike. It's like, yeah, I just couldn't do it.
That's funny.
Rob Lowe was making fun of himself so much in it. That was worth it. Worth the commentary alone.
He had a good Joe Rogan podcast episode, Rob Lowe.
Did they talk about?
They didn't talk about the stand, but they talked about like the early TV when he was in. Like, this tells you with the numbers how big TV was in the 70s. He goes, I had my first show. We were 19th in the ratings, or 29th or something in the rating. He goes, we had 19 million viewers. And 19 million viewers today is like a superstar show.
You would kill for 19 million viewers now.
You would that would be a massive hit. And I mean, because network TV barely gets 3 million people a show now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that bad. Like, nobody watches network TV anymore. So then, and that was the number 19 show, was 19 million viewers or whatever. Yeah. That's crazy.
The only thing people watch on TV now is sports. That's it.
And that's going down too.
Yeah. Otherwise, because you can watch it somewhere else, you can stream it. You don't watch it live. So
no
sports, though, you want to watch live. So
yeah. But everybody's getting tired of the politics of everything. So it's just like, oh, shut up. Just play the fucking game. Just shut up and play basketball. Play football. Shut up. Don't do anything. I'm at that point. It's just like, I don't care anymore. They
get on their bike. They're going down the mountains, and then they meet Ralph in the truck. He looks like Chris. Chris Penn.
Said, it could have been Chris Penn, but he was too busy doing True Romance at this time.
Yeah, and he looked like he was driving soberly, so I don't think it was Chris Penn.
No.
But he picks him up, takes him. They're all going to meet Mother Abigail.
Rest in peace, Chris Penn.
Yeah. Stu. Stu has the most boring plot in this episode.
He finds my favorite Martian, and he's just hanging out with him. and he's got a dog, and that's kind of, and then Franny and Henry show up, and
Harold.
that's basically Harold, and then that's that, and he wants to go to Vermont, and he says, "I just came from Vermont. Nothing's there. You don't want to go there." He goes, "Well, I want to see for myself. I
Harold
don't
is a
trust
whiny
you."
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mick was talking about how now he's got his hair combed and slicked back, and he's got less zits, and they took the butt thing out. Like, he's becoming a man.
He's becoming a man, riding across country with Franny.
And he made fun of Molly Ringwald because he goes, "This is the first time she's on a bike, and she looks ridiculous." But it's also Franny's first time on a bike, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
She struggles for a while to get that kickstand down.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, oh god, I didn't notice.
Yeah, it's fucking funny on the commentary. They make fun of themselves and the other actors so much on there.
But I like how Garrison East tells Parker Lewis can't lose. He goes, "Look, I'm not interested in your girl, okay?
The last thing I want to do is cut in on you here.
Yeah, I won't do that."
Yeah.
And then he ends up cutting in on it.
Oh yeah, he cuts in it big time.
Because why not? It's Molly Ringwald. She's the prime piece of meat out here in the no man's land.
Let's see here. And then they also go to leave, right?
Yeah. They get on their bikes and they head on out to Vermont, and then they have the dream again, and he needs to go to Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah, he has the dreams of he's in the cornfield and a bunch of rats are running over his feet, and that's what she's like, "Those are his rats."
Yeah.
And then he runs away, and then they do a cool trick shot where they're tracking him in the cornfield, and then it cuts to behind him, and there's corn, and then suddenly he's in the hospital.
Yeah,
you can tell how they did it, but I still like it. It looks cool.
Yeah, no, there's some good stuff in there. Some good old like live Twilight Zone bits, or stuff they did in the '50s, kind of a thing.
It works.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's effective.
It's the old tricks of the trade.
And Mick Garris is like, we had no money, so we couldn't just throw money at the problem. We had to come up with a way to. So we just brought corn stalks into the hospital and did it. He's saying there's no dollies in it. They just had a steady cam and a jig, and that's it. So that's why everything's shot the way it is, and it looks great.
It looks fine. I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah. So they go to leave. Who else we got?
I think that's it.
Trash Man.
No, well, Trash Can Man makes it to Vegas.
He makes it to Vegas. He shows up, and Randall Flagg made him. I forget the city name, but he's looking at Vegas, and it turns into like some Indian city. And he's like,
yeah.
And he runs there, and you can tell the man's been running for thousands of miles.
Yeah,
he's like sun damage. He looks like Fire Marshal Bill. There's nothing else I can say about his looks other than if you see him with Fire Marshal Bill, that's what he looks like.
He looks like the woman from the Book of Eli, who's the bait, where she's attached to the basket. Help me! And she's all fucked up because she's got radiation poisoning and she's a cannibal.
When you fight those guys, you just go.
Go in the dark. And you fight with a chainsaw. Love it. Love Book of Eli.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
Book of Eli's good.
Adam didn't seem like he's a big fan of it.
He doesn't like anything with whimsy.
I don't think there's whimsy in there. I think it's just
no, not at all.
I will say the first time I watched it though, I was like, eh. Second time I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Okay, now
I liked that the first night because I went and saw it in the theater. I was like, this movie's awesome. This is awesome. So I was very pleased with it.
I love it because it's the closest I'm going to get to a Fallout movie. So
pretty much, yeah.
Very similar, but in a good way.
Because they'll fuck up a Fallout movie again, like we said. Hollywood fucks everything up. They'll ruin everything.
Oh yeah,
They just go. Well, what the fans want? Well, we don't want to do that. We want to do the subversion of expectations here.
We're surprise those fans.
We're going to surprise you with a new story that makes no sense. It's not at all what the game was. Okay, thank you, thank you, Hollywood.
I finally watched the Assassin's Creed movie.
I've never seen it.
I've played every single game, and I'm sitting there, I'm watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is Assassin's Creed. Like 40 minutes in, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I forgot.
Oh,
it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't Assassin's Creed. So
no, I thought it was boring.
Yeah,
it's very boring.
I didn't hate it. I'll never watch it again. It's one of those. A lot of those movies came out around that time where you're just like, nah, I'm good.
And now we're getting the remakes. We're getting Resident Evil's coming back, and
it did remind me the Assassin's Creed movie reminded me of the Dark Tower movie, where I'm just like, oh, this is for me. It's not horrible, but I'm not invested in any way with this. Whatever's
Well,
going on.
it's the Silent Hill movie, the first one.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, but I don't know if it's Silent Hill. Is it the game? I don't know because I'm not a gamer, so I don't play these games.
Silent Hill games other than a few minutes here and there. But
yeah, because I heard that Silent Hill, the movie, and the game are kind of similar, but kind of different.
Movie's fun,
but I like the movie a lot. Yeah, that's one of my underrated horror movies for people.
The second one is
garbage,
weird fucking mess. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Terrible movie.
Yeah.
Second one's bad.
Like they brought back one person from the original and kill her immediately. It's Laurie Holden from Walking Dead.
No, she died in the first one.
Yeah. Oh, I thought she died in the beginning of the first one.
No, she dies in the first. They burn her alive in the first.
Yeah, they burn her alive, but
it's really an awful effect too. How they burn her alive. It's really gruesome.
I forget who, but
no, I think it was Rhoda Mitchell. It's the girl.
Was it?
It must be. I can't remember.
I remember they brought up someone back, and then they don't do anything with it.
Yeah,
so that's just there to connect it to the first one for no reason.
Yeah, and Sean Bean's in it too. Because he's in the first one, he's in the second one, but I think maybe he dies. I can't remember.
Anyway,
but this isn't the Silent Hill podcast.
That would be for something else that we'll never get to.
Never going to happen. I'm not doing that.
He arrives in Vegas. He falls down in a pond. Eventually, he walks in a casino. He meets Lloyd's sitting there with like his goons, and they're
the mafia. All the mobsters. Yeah. What's she doing? There's a weirdo on the table over there. Leave him alone. Flag's got plans for him. He's important.
Yeah, because Matt Furrer walks into there and then is like, and he lays down on the wheel or the table and just falls asleep. And they're just like, let him rest. Anyway, what we got? That's how we get there.
You got any threes? They play Go Fish. That'd be great. You got any threes?
Old maid.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing we do got to mention, the other big reveal in this episode is Nick and all those people that are with Nick arrive in Nebraska at her.
Yes. Yeah.
This is what I was saying. It's still on the sound stage, obviously, but it doesn't look like the Dreams, her homestead.
Right, yeah.
Overly blown orange and stuff.
Yes.
Here, and there's sunlight coming down, and they're in the cornfield, and they meet her. They all kiss her. And then she's like, how do you know about, and like, we dreamed of you.
Yeah.
And then she reveals that he's real also, Randall Flagg.
Yeah.
They have a dinner, and they had that stupid line that's in everything about the devil.
Yeah, I don't believe in God. He believes in you. Yes. That's sort of, yeah. I was going to say, that it's the worst. So does that mean, did Stephen King make that line up and it appears in every movie now since then, or was it in something before?
Because Stephen was talking about how much he loved that line. I think he created it.
No, I think it's like one of those Hallmark card things, or the cat, the poster hanging there, kitty. I think it's just one of those things that have existed forever. Because like, I don't believe in this; it believes in you. Well, it's like, oh, okay.
So it's the first time, like chronologically in a movie or series, I can think that it used it, and then every single devil thing has to do it now.
Yeah, I do.
All of them.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to see.
But they meet her. They decide they have to go to Colorado. I don't know why. I don't know what the decision was to go to Colorado. I'll be honest. I've seen this 24 times, and I don't know why they go to Colorado. Is it because he knows they're there? He knows where the Nebraska house is?
Yeah, no, they all know where it is, but then that's the thing. I think a certain amount of them go to Nebraska to pick her up, and then the rest of the Dreams are Boulder, Colorado, because that's where they go, and they're waiting. And that's where she says, we're going to make the stand here.
Yeah.
In Boulder. And then you see all the cars and the bikes come across the path, and they're on their way.
In my head, I always thought Nebraska and Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, were like days apart driving. I looked it up. I'm like, oh, it's only 8 hours. Because that explains why they're there. And then, they're looking out over the mountains from the mountaintop, and then they see all the cars coming up. And that's where this one ends. It's just, that's it. Everyone's getting for the stand. That'll come in 7 hours.
Oh, here you go. The Count of Monte Cristo is actually what did it. It says, I don't believe in God. It doesn't matter. He believes in you. That's the quote.
By Alexander Dumbass.
Dumbass. Man, that book, shit, that book has all kinds of great quotes. Holy shit. Wow. I didn't know they had that one. I should have read that book. I wrote a book about it, and I didn't even read it. Go figure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Weird.
I got the gist of it.
You get the idea.
Dumbass. Yeah. Dumbass. It's good. It's about a book. It's about a prison break. We should put that in educational, shouldn't we? Andy? But, yeah, so basically it ends right there, doesn't it? With her saying, we're going to make our stand. And then that's basically the end of it. Because they go to Vermont. Gary Sinise and Parker Lewis go to Vermont, and he finally sees it. He pukes. And Gary Sinise goes, "You still from Missouri?" And that's that. So he proves his point.
Yeah.
But shit, they got a ways to go. So they went from, because where is Gary Sinise at that point? Is
Gary
he in Maine?
Was in Vermont. Remember?
So he is in Vermont. Okay, so they went from Maine to Vermont to see. Okay, that's what I was
they were going from Maine to Vermont for
So he is in Vermont.
So he's like right by, and so they back maybe a couple miles and went.
Yeah. Okay, because
then they traveled all the fucking way across the country.
Then they go to Boulder. Yeah, so that's the next episodes, I guess.
But I'm guessing that's why he has Trash Can Man out there blowing up oil fields so that they can't get the gas to go to wherever they need to make their stand.
That makes sense.
I'm assuming that's the logic behind that.
Yeah.
Never really thought about it, honestly, until now.
That's a good point. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And also, in that one scene with Larry and the girl and the feral kid, they see the distance and it's all on fire. It's like the entire city is burning to the ground. And that's because Trash Man Can blew it all up. He's
Trash
burning. Trash Can Man. Yeah, right. Trash Can Man, right?
You said Trash Man Can.
The Trash Man Can. He'll burn your city to the ground.
Who can burn the oil fields?
So far, so good on this stand show.
Yes. We are about to hit the episode where it falls far short of these two.
Oh, okay.
Part 3 is a bit of a slog. I don't deny that. It's the one I'm like, here it comes. There's some good stuff, obviously, but there's a big story section involving Gary Sinise where I'm like, oh, fucking God, it's so long.
Really? Okay. Because I think that'd be interesting, but I guess they don't pull it off so well in this one.
It looks fine. But it's literally they have to walk from Boulder to Vegas.
Oh.
Because God tells them to walk. So they're fucking walking.
Oh.
And
well, Trash Can Man walked, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know why God cares that they have to walk, but because it's Boulder to Vegas.
You're walking, goddammit.
Pretty fucking far.
That's what God said. You're walking, goddammit. Get it? Thanks.
Thanks. Oh, great. What a dick.
Well, I mean, there's no gas. What do you want me to do? Joe Biden's president. There's no gas. What do you want me to do?
Maybe that's why they have to walk, is because Trash Can Man blew up all the oil.
Maybe that's maybe that's a throwaway line you just don't remember in the show. Maybe they say that. Maybe they say like, "Well, we can't drive. There's no gas."
No, she literally says, "God told me you have to walk."
God said there's no gas.
There are some surprises coming up, though.
Okay.
In part 3, and yeah, don't watch part 4 before we review part 3, so we can. I want to get your guesses. Do you know anything?
Okay. Well, I know kind of what happens in the last episode. I know what happens, but I don't remember everything. Like I remember some guys get killed, some guys get crucified, but they don't get crucified because you couldn't crucify them on TV, so they're not crucified. They're on giant. They're on their thing. They're on shoe horses. Yeah, horseshoes.
Yeah, it's
my dyslexia is working overtime today.
Trash Man Can. Horseshoe is
shoe horses. Gotta get the shoe horses.
You have to glue these shoe horses to your feet and walk to Vegas now.
Oh, this is stupid, God. Why are you doing this shit? It makes me laugh. I'm sorry. You guys did it.
Tom, you have to wear the ceremonial spinny hat.
Where's that dummy retard? Let me see.
Get out of here, dummy retard. She's like, God told you. And they walk away enough that they can't hear her. And she's like, do you believe that shit? He actually put it on.
Fucking retard.
Oh, my God. He's still wearing it.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny shit.
The wind's making it go. Oh my god!
Look at that dumb retard.
Who's got a camera? Oh yeah. No,
there's no power. But well, so yeah, because I'll watch episode 3 and I'll make my predictions.
Yeah.
So I won't watch part 4. But what's part 4 called? So part 3 is called what?
The Betrayal.
Okay, and then part 4 is called
The Stand.
Okay, so it'll say that before, so I'll know, because there's no credits. It kind of goes to black, and then it pops up, and it kind of goes for a minute, but then it has the title on there.
On the Blu-ray, you click on the chapter you want to watch. So
yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
but I'm going off of the drive. So
well, on this, you just go. They're all an hour and a half exactly.
Is that what it is? Okay,
part of 3 hours in.
Okay,
and watch.
Yeah, it's okay. All right, it's 90 minutes. Okay, that makes sense.
They're all exactly 90 minutes. And Mick Garris was talking about and bitching about that because he's like, "How do you make an 8-hour thing?" It was 2 hours each segment on TV, and he's like, "We had to do it to the second." So, so that was a pain in the ass. And the editor was talking. He's like, "I had all this footage, and it's all out of order, so I'd have to wait for weeks at a time to finish the scene because I had nothing to cut to."
Shit, that's crazy.
Like, I never thought about the editing in this. That would be a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Yeah.
Is just one editor then?
Yeah, one editor.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
he's talking about the Avid system because it just came out around that time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You can only do 15 minutes of footage on there. That's as much as the hard drive would hold.
Oh
so
wow!
All we could do is
that's crazy.
Pain in the ass.
What a time!
It makes you go like, how did they do this? How I can't imagine doing all this work for can't be much money. But luckily, Stephen King has that thing where everyone that writes and directs is a fan of his.
Yeah.
So the editor was like, yeah, he wanted to do it and just signed on for it and didn't give a shit.
Yeah, well, it's fun. Well, you're making something that's pretty good. So
yeah,
I think that's what it gets to. That's what gets to. If you work in that city long enough, if you work on anything good, you're just happy because you probably work on so much shit.
Oh, definitely.
And so much stuff that's just garbage. You know it. It's just some guy's nephew or kid made it, and they have to make it because it's all nepotism over there. And I bet you that goes through all the time, and everybody's pissed off. Because I remember Adam saying, like, he was going to that before Adam turned into a horrible, angry man. He used to be married, and he went to church when film school. He said people at the church were in the business, and they were all talking like they all wanted to retire and get out of the business. They were sick of it. And they were all like 20-year veterans, and they were all sound guys, or they were like technical guys, and just like, it's fucking hell. They hated it.
Well, it's 17, 18 hours a day.
Yeah, for no reason, really.
Yeah, and then
it's
come
just
back.
Stupid. Yeah, and they don't even talk about how many people die driving home, falling asleep, like getting in car accidents and shit. No guild talks about that in Hollywood. Like, it's a secret. It's like they don't bring it up. If you bring it up, you get ostracized. It's like, it's such a fucking, it's so awful. Hollywood's awful. It's an awful fucking place.
Well, they traded they keep their long hours so that they can have double time if they push lunch back.
Yeah. It's so awful. It is so bad. It's just, they're the worst. They're just awful people. It's a shit show. I'm glad it's just crumbling to the ground right now. Yeah. It deserves it. It's horrible. And everybody's still living there. Get out of that city. You're an idiot. I keep telling them, get out. There's nothing there anymore. Go away. You're not gonna win over there.
Well, all the projects we were starting to like kind of look at when we were right before I left, I was like, oh, I don't want to do any of these. I don't want to do this like this. I'd rather take my stuff and go like stupid shit like this.
Yeah.
It was way better than.
It's just more fun, and over there they won't hire you because you're a white guy now. It's like that's where they're at now. It's like, what? Oh my god! Fucking shut up! Like, ugh.
We still haven't met the one black man in this series. He comes in the next episode. Ozzie Davis.
Well, we got Ruby Dee. We got one black woman in it, and Ozzie Davis, her husband, is coming. So that's nepotism right there. Nepotism. The Stand nepotism.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, Ozzie Davis was on Evening Shade, right?
No, Ozzie Davis is like a really good actor. I mean, he's a renowned actor.
Yeah, I thought he was on that show though. But
he might have been, probably for money. I mean, why wouldn't
he? Was Evening Shade?
Yeah,
99 episodes. Oh
wow, he makes money.
Short.
90's enough. I think they're all right. I think it was syndicated. He was making his money.
Yeah, it's just funny because Evening Shade and Coach were two shows that were on at the same time that remind me of each other, and we have an actor from both.
Yep. Well, there you go. And which is odd because I feel like Craig T. Nelson would be in The Stand.
I'm amazed he's not playing Tom Cullen.
Yeah.
I don't think he would put up with that, though. He's like, no. I'm not being that whimsical. No,
I do that shit.
He seems like a real asshole. I don't know, though. But
I don't know. I think he's pretty nice. I think he looks all right. I loved him in Devil's Advocate. He's great in that. He's just an evil asshole, and he's great in Poltergeist. He's a good actor. I like Craig T. Nelson. He's good.
Yeah, I love him, but I don't think he would put up with that kind of role.
Probably not.
You didn't like Parenthood, though.
No, I don't.
he's the dad. He's the grandpa.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, I hate Parenthood. I hate that show.
It's a good show.
But granted, I saw it on an airplane with the worst migraine headache, and it was hell. So that's probably why I don't like it. So I'm never going to watch it for that reason.
The only thing you watch on that, you watch that show and you're like, it's a normal. And then suddenly Dax Shepard shows up, and you're like, why
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Odd.
Ice pick right now, right there. Dax Shepard, that'll do it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's episode 2 of The Stand. The Dreams.
Very good. I'm digging it so far. Now you told me episode 3 sucks. I'm a little scared, but I'll watch it.
It doesn't suck. It just has drag. Parts of it drag.
I'll watch it later.
It's not bad or boring, but I was like, you could cut this up, chop it down. But and that's
Well, maybe they have that scene with San Giacomo in her bra. I think this must be the episode where she shows that off.
You notice every time she's in her bra, she's like laying down at an angle. You don't really get the
because they're covering those massive lumps.
The bra's this big.
Because just in her bra, it's probably X-rated. Like it's just like, wow, that's too much for anybody.
You gotta be laying down.
We gotta be shooting it from right here.
We're talking 17 to 18 inches of cleavage. You have to lay down.
Yeah, it's insane. She's ridiculous.
All right, let's get out of here.
God bless her.
LIWstudios.com for me. LIW the TZ Review. LIW Studios, Phoenix West on Twitter. Oh, YouTube.com/Loitering in Wonderland to watch this live show and others.
Yes.
I'm Phoenix West.
Dick it.
Still no theme song or anything.
That's whatever. Maybe you should get the Larry Elder song or the Larry Underwood song.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. You know what? I never brought up in the first part. We'll get out of here after this. Is my love for Blue Oyster Cult's "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Yeah.
That song is perfect right there.
It is perfect. I was gonna say, that's a perfect 5-minute opening with the credits. That was perfect. Yeah. That was a perfect use of that song. Yeah.
And it starts because it's really quiet when they go into that guy's booth, his security booth, and then it starts the second you see the dead bodies. It's like,
yeah. But here on a sour note, Captain Trips is actually a nickname for Jerry Garcia.
I hate Jerry Garcia.
There you go. And on that note, The Stand Part 2. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Even though it's 11:30.
Whatever. I got stuff to do.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
That's funny.
Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Garcia, man. He's the greatest.
I was making posters or getting images for posters because I'm just going to get all the Inside Number 9 ones done. Oh, let me stop going live.